What about Job? Now let's talk a little bit Job. Job, this one will start bawling again. Do you know the entire story of Job? You know what it was? I'm going to show it to you from Job chapter 1 and 2. The story of Job was God was defending the honor of Job. See, this is what people don't understand. Job begins in Job chapter 1 and 2, but it tells you something's taking place in heaven that Job is not aware. Job doesn't see it. It says, the angels came to God. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show you. And it says Satan was among them. So notice, God, angels, and Satan. Now, the Bible tells us that the duty of Satan, or the mission of Satan, is to go around the world to find people he can destroy. 1 Peter 5, 8 to 9. He looks for people that he can destroy their faith. Destroy their faith. 1 Peter 5, 8 to 9. Be of sober spirit, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion. So he's prowling, he's looking. Who's someone that has strong faith in God? I'm going to make him hate God and destroy his faith. Seeking someone to devour, but resist him, firm in the faith, knowing that the same experiences of suffering are being accomplished among you, your brethren who are in the world. Meaning, we all suffer because Satan's trying to destroy all of us and get us to blame God. Because when you have a tragedy, the last person you blame is Satan. The first one you blame is God. Satan wins. That's what he's trying to do. Yeah. But it wasn't God. It was Satan. But we forget him, nah? When you bury your child, the first one you point the finger at is, you, God, you! And Satan laughs. Exactly. Yeah. I win. Didn't I tell you, God? He doesn't love you. He only loves you for what you can give him. See, I win. That's what he tries to do. How do I know? Because now we're going to go to Job 1. Satan is more smart than we think. And he's more dangerous than we think. As long as he can get God to be blamed for the things he does, he wins. Now we're going to pick it up here. Remember what Satan does? He's looking, he's prowling. That right? It says he's looking. Who's a Christian who thinks he's strong so I can destroy and mess up his faith? Watch here. Job 1:6. Listen. Now was the day that the sons of God came to stand before Yahweh. Now notice, it's not just God and Satan, the sons of God, meaning angels. So the angels are listening to this conversation. Watch how deep it gets. Satan was among them. And Yahweh said to Satan, from where do you come? Where are you coming from? You're up to no good. Then Satan answered, and Yahweh said, then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from roaming about on the earth and walking around on it. You remember what Peter said? Why does he do this? Why does he roam the earth?
Looking for a prey.
To do what?
Looking for a prey to devour.
Once he finds that prey, he's got to report back to God. That's why God knows he's here. You're up to no good. You're here because you have your eyes on my servant Job. See, God already knew. Look. Then Yahweh said to Satan, have you set your heart on my servant Job? He's not asking because he doesn't know. It's like, really? You want to now test Job? You want to now attack Job? Why? Look what God says about Job. The angels are listening, Listen. God is going to say this about Job with the angels listening. For there's no one like him on the earth, a blameless, upright man, fearing God and turning away from evil. Did you understand what kind of praise it is that God is praising a human in heaven? Can you imagine God in heaven says, do you see Martin? You see what a wonderful servant he is? There's no one on earth like him who loves me. God is praising you in heaven. What an honor. This is God's view of Job. He's telling the angels, Job, there's no man like him. He loves me and fears me unlike any man. But now look, Satan says, no, God, that's not true. You don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? Satan answered Yahweh and said, does Job fear God without cause? See, now he's getting even the angels to doubt God. Wait, what do you mean? No. He only loves you because you made him a millionaire. Because you got about $1 million in your account and you got a huge mansion. That's why you love God. Take it away and watch how he's going to curse you. You're wrong about Job. So now it's a test. You see what he wants to do? I want you to see what Satan wants to do. He not only wants to prove God wrong and make Job hate God, he wants the angels to doubt God. Because angels don't know everything. They're creatures. Only God knows everything. And Satan was also a righteous angel, we believe. but he too sinned. So what he's trying to do is, he's trying to do two things. Make Job hate God and prove God a liar to get the angels to doubt God. Because now, if God is wrong, and I'm an angel, say, wow, Satan was right. God doesn't really know everything. Should I really be trusting God? See how smart Satan is? He's much more dangerous and smarter than you think. So what does God do? Really? This is what you're going to do? You're trying to get the sons of God to doubt me, and you're trying to get them to doubt the integrity of Job, that I'm wrong about him, and Job is not a man of God, and you're trying to prove me wrong, and you're trying to make Job look bad and make Job hate me? Go ahead and do it. Because why? I want you now to go deep. Think. If God were to simply throw Satan out, that would still leave doubt in the heart of the angels. Lela.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'd imagine someone comes and questions my authority and says, get the hell out of here. What are you going to think of me?
Yeah. What's he hiding? If he's
Why did he react so angrily at what he said? Did he hit a nerve? So God knows Satan, and God is more wise than Satan because he's almighty. Okay. Is that how it is? Okay, go ahead. So what's the story? After Satan fails the first time, takes away his children, takes away his money, he says, all right, you win here, God. You win. You're right about him. Now, the others are listening to it, huh? They can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure you guys stay focused. You win, because I want you to learn the lesson, because I'm going to apply it to all of you guys. You win. But guess what, God? I bet you if you let me attack him with sickness, let me strike him with cancer or Alzheimer's or dementia or arthritis, I bet you he's going to cuss you out, because a man will do anything for his own health. Really, you want to go that far? You still haven't learned your lesson? All right, go ahead. Go ahead, but do not harm his soul. His soul is mine. Skin for skin. Let me afflict him. Now, guys, you understand what you just learned here? You understand what you just learned? Satan has power to get you sick. Satan has power to give you cancer. Satan has power to cause tsunamis. Satan has power to cause tornadoes. Satan has power because he did it. God tells us spirit creatures, they have powers to cause floods, wildfires, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and get you sick. So it's not always from God. This is what you're supposed to learn. Because the first thing we do is blame God. But God is telling you, no, it's not always me. There are spirit creatures who have powers to cause a tsunami, to cause a building to collapse, to cause wildfires, to cause you to get sick. It's not always me. Because who went out and struck Job and got him to suffer boils that even his wife couldn't handle looking at him because of the pain? Satan, Lela. Satan. And Job failed again. Because what happened? Then Satan went out from the face of Yahweh, struck Job with terrible boils. So who got him sick?
Satan.
Not God, la. So how do you know that guy who has cancer, that's not from Satan? How do you know that woman who's got arthritis, that's not from Satan? You don't know that.
Can I add something? But wouldn't you say like the Holy Spirit protects us? Like God protects us?
No, well, so you're saying God failed Job. He didn't protect Job?
But Satan had to ask him for permission to afflict him.
Yep. And in the Bible, even Jesus himself got tempted by Satan and got killed by Satan. You think you're better than Jesus because you're a son of God? No. You will be tested.
But technically, Jesus didn't get killed. He was sacrificed.
Yeah, but he didn't kill himself. That would be suicide. He had to allow himself to be killed.
Okay.
Why do you think Peter said, you killed him? He didn't say God killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I get your point.
Yep. So, no, you got to be careful. No, Jesus, yes, could not die if he didn't want to die, but he chose to die, but he didn't commit suicide, what we call deicide. He had to be killed. That's why Peter says, you killed him. He didn't say, oh, he killed himself. No, it doesn't work like that. But don't forget the point. You're not better than Jesus. If Jesus suffered, you're going to think you're going to have a mansion on earth and everybody's going to be, lovey-dovey and you're going to have a wife and 20 kids. No, it doesn't work like that, man. It's never worked like that. Only those who are deceived, who don't want to suffer. No, but Jesus wants me rich. He wants me to have a mansion. He wants me to have a home that's $600,000 and remodel it, and I have $1 million in the bank. You sure that's what Jesus wants for you? But anyway, it's deception. Anyway, but you watch the point though. Then Satan went out from the presence of Yahweh and struck Job with terrible boils, from the sole of his foot to the top of his head. And he took a potsherd to scrape himself while he was still sitting among the ashes. That's how much pain he was in. His wife, who loved him so much, see, people don't understand why his wife reacted this way. She loved her husband so much, she couldn't handle to see him in this pain. Her heart was breaking. Her heart was breaking. Danza, why do the Shia believe that your mother's house is a whorehouse, a prostitution? Her heart was breaking. You got demons manifesting, guys. Satan's children. Because the man she loved was suffering such a horrible affliction, she couldn't handle it anymore. She goes, okay, curse God and die so you can be at peace. She didn't say it out of hate for him. She said it out of pain for him. Can you imagine? Have you ever had where you see a loved one dying of cancer and so painful, you're like, God, please let him die already. Has that happened? You know people like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to her. I can't handle this. Just curse and get it over with. But here's where Job passes the test. But he said to her, you speak as one of the wickedly foolish women speaks. Now you're speaking evil, like a perverse woman. Shall we indeed accept good from God and not accept calamity? And look what God says. And all this, Job did not sin with his lips. Okay, so what's the story now? Now that I gave you all this, you had now 3 stupid men who thought they were wise. 3 stupid men who thought they were wise. Who thought, you know what, Job? You must have sinned. This is their theology. If you were righteous, like what this guy said, Tony, this is your theology. Won't God protect you? That was their theology. There's no way God would allow this to you if you haven't sinned. You've done something evil in your life because God protects his people. See, that's what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You just sound like those 3 idiots. But I don't blame you. You're Chaldean. It's okay.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, no, I'm just saying.
Who's the new Chaldean?
Okay, are you listening? Listen to me. They were looking at him. What did you do? And Job says, I've done nothing. No, it can't be. That's the story. It can't. You must have done something bad. No, I haven't. If I have, I'll acknowledge it. Tell me and I'll do it. I've always confessed to God and have tried to be righteous, but there's no way God could allow this to happen. You must have done something evil. At the end, you know what God says? You are idiots. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You need to repent. The message is, not everyone who suffers is because they're evil. Many suffer because they're righteous, because Satan wants to destroy your faith and get you to blame God. Job didn't. Now, what was Job's story? I'm going to now wrap it up. I promise you, and I'll take your questions. But I had to do this. Job's pain, you know what his pain was? It wasn't so much that he lost his children, 7 sons and 3 daughters. He lost his money and he got sick. He wants to know, why does God hate me? It wasn't Job complaining out of, I lost everything, because God said he passed the test, didn't he? He goes, in all this he didn't sin. So what was his pain? Why do you hate me? Why did you turn against me? All this time, I thought that you were pleased with me, but the things that are happening to me, I don't understand. What could cause you to hate me and destroy me this way? He was heartbroken. Why, God? See, that's why I say when I read the story, it kills me. He didn't know. Why, God? I thought you were my friend. And I thought that you love me. Why do you hate me so much? What did I do for you to hate me? God doesn't hate him. But now God shows up. Now here's the lesson. Now what the lesson for you. He shows up in Job 38. He goes, you wanted to meet me, right? Okay, I'm here now, Job. From Job 38 to 41, God asked him a series of questions. And I'm going to explain to you why. Job, gird up your loins. Now we're going to have an audience. We're going to speak face to face. You thought all this time that I did this to you and I hated you. But you don't understand. Now, before I answer and justify myself, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you can answer, then you have a right to judge me. And he says, were you there when I laid the foundation here? No. Do you know how the clouds are formed? Do you know where lightning comes from? Do you know how the stars were set in place? Do you know where snow comes from? Do you know any of this? No. What is he trying to say? I am infinitely wiser than you. I know more than you can imagine. Why then sit in judgment of me? Why not trust me in my wisdom that what I did, there was a good reason for me to do it? Why then automatically assume I hate you? Now, God never gives Job the answer. He never told Job why. You know why this happened? We were given the answer. You know what the answer was? If God were to tell Job, he didn't get the answer. Read it. He never tells him. The story of Job is, this is what God would have said to Job. Job, Satan came to accuse you and said that you didn't love me, and he wanted to slander you and cause angels to doubt you. I came to your defense because that's what friends do. Friends have each other's back. When he attacked my friend, I did what a good friend would do. Come to your aid, to your defense. No, Martin's not like that. You're a liar. I know Martin. How dare you slander him? Job, I came to defend your honor in heaven. God defending his honor. Who the hell is Job for God to even waste his time? That's the story. Job, I'm more of a friend than you can imagine. I am the best friend anyone could have, because when he attacked you, my friend, I came to your defense and I had your back. Job is not like that. Don't you dare slander my friend. That's the story of Job. But what's the story for you? When you go through hell, don't you be like Job. God hates me. God says, no, trust me. Something is happening for this to happen, but I got your back because I'm your friend and I'll never leave nor forsake you. That's the message of Job. That's what Jesus says right here. So now you understand Job and how it applies to your life. So when you're going through hell, don't be like, God, why? Didn't you learn already? There's a Satan. There are demons. There are evil forces that are going to mess up your life to get you to doubt me. Don't you know me already, that I love you? And I loved you so much that I chose to die in order to have you than live without you. What more can I do to show you? Don't doubt. Trust. That's the message. And Jesus says, not only Job is his friend, you can be his friend too, right here. John 15, 12 to 15. Ready? That's the message. John 15, 12, 15. This is my commandment, that you love one another just as I've loved you. Look, greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends. You are my friend. Look, he didn't say you're my slaves. No, you're more than that. You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you slaves, for the slave does not know what his master is doing. But I've called you friends. For all things that I've heard from my Father, I've made known to you. Jesus is saying, I'm your best friend. And I love you, and I'll never allow anyone to slander you. Trust me, I got your back. That's the message. So I hope that answered your question. I took over an hour to answer, but I had to.
No, that was incredible. I just wanted to. That was a beautiful way to say it. I never think of it. I mean, not that I could, but I never thought of it that way.